Hello. I'll be talking about one of my favorite artists ever, one of my biggest inspirations, arguably one of my idols. This is Mira Joyce, Digital Maximalism, and Channeling Euphoria. So, before I talk about her art, I'd like to mention her online presence. It's pretty humble. She posts on her story sometimes. You can find pictures of her if you look. Sometimes she'll post her thoughts on Twitter. A lot of them are really great to read. Some of them are just kind of funny. She has a link to her website. I love her website a lot. I think it's beautiful and is representative of her presence on other places online. Here's her website. The border is just something I added so you can tell where the screenshot starts and stops. I think it's important to show how much negative space is occupied. I'll read out her statement at the top. I do everything. I'm working on something new. You can find my work everywhere. I'm currently based in NYC. I don't know what my email is either. Her website currently is 2 blog posts where she talks about things on her mind. She talks about love, music she likes, the world. I'll read a set of bullet points you can see on the screenshot. Nothing is real. Everything is real. Feel it with your body. The robots are trained on your data, and I'm sorry, but you have to let it go. It's too late. The robots are trained on your data, and it's much worse than what people think it is. And I hope it's not too late. I know you're scared. I am too. Back to her Twitter, where you can find a lot of her other thoughts. Here's a recent one I love a lot. Really sad to me how people generally tend to visualize digital maximalism in nihilist and edgy ways rather than channeling euphoria. I think trying to explain examples of nihilist and edgy that she's talking about is harder than trying to describe channeling euphoria. I say this because before making this presentation, I sort of just scrolled her pages while talking and recording to see what points would come to mind. One of the first things I said was that I struggled to find the words to describe her and her art. I think digital maximalism, channeling euphoria are the words I was struggling to find. With this phrase in mind, I'll show you some of her art now. This is a piece of hers from January 2024. Here's one from February of this year. This one is my laptop background currently. This is from December 2024. It's unbelievable. I think all of her work is beautiful, but I think this artwork specifically is stunning because it's a collage of many old collages that she made over the past decade. This is from January. I could go on with examples and could go on about how much I love each one, but I'll settle for talking about why I love her art in general. Firstly, it's all gorgeous to me. It's overwhelming. There's always so much going on, but I don't think there's ever too much. Maybe that's personal taste. I like it when things are quote unquote too much. Her art makes me feel some of my favorite emotions when it comes to art. Jealousy, envy, inspired. I'm so in love with her output, and to be really honest, there's some part of me that gets frustrated with how talented she is, but she possesses such intense skill that it drives me to be an artist. As someone who is currently concentrating in graphic design, Mira Joyce is one of the reasons as to why I'm here. She is singular and one of a kind, and, importantly, these are traits that come naturally from someone who is expressing themselves purely and freely. It shows. She's always posting about things like love and the beauty of the world. This is another post I love a lot. I resonate with it as someone who is a who is self-proclaimed blindly optimistic. There is just a lot of joy to her expression and art. It's sometimes kind of silly, but it's earnest, which is the most important part. To connect it to the themes of this class and how art transcends time, she is someone who is marking her place in the present. You can see it in this post. This is the writing of someone who spends time on the internet and is alive in 2025. Her blog is talking about very modern things. She's a very modern person. There's a sense of humor to her presence, like this post, that is very much the result of someone who's on the internet. She's a very present artist, and her work is a time capsule. Her art is digital based, which again furthers her status as someone who is sort of establishing history right now. She's using tools that have only been around for not that long compared to basically all art ever, and she's pushing them to their absolute limit. She's pushing tools forward that themselves are still being updated. Her art is also shaping the future, or at the very least, she's shaping mine. Her art is important to me, and there is no world in which I don't carry it with me into the future. Here's one last pair of posts and art I'd like to talk about. This is simply a really sweet phrase. Of course you can. I love you. Just a couple hours later, though, she posts this. A really simple yet weighty statement is now part of a really simple yet weighty artwork. It's not just spectacle and maximalism, it's genuine expression. If you couldn't tell, I'm rather passionate about these subjects. When I think about them a lot and in relation to myself. When they jump a sports car from skyscraper to skyscraper in Fast and Furious 7, I think it was Furious 7, but I might be wrong, it's sick as fuck. That's spectacle, but that's also sort of a sugary injection side of it. Surely still produced with artistic intent, but also clearly with an intent to make money and to make something flashy. When maximalism is approached with the intent of self-expression, it shows. It's why I'm drawn to things like raves. Ew, I know. They're loud and generally kind of senseless, and the music can be incomprehensible and overbearing, and there's a lot of people near you, and some of them smell bad, and some of them smell good, and some of them are wearing less clothes than others, and some of them are sweaty, and you're sweaty, and the people in front of you aren't really moving, which is lame, but the music won't stop for them. And the music won't stop at all because there's no breaks, and the overall vibe is unusual and sometimes aggressive, but it's everyone's mission to be as nice as possible, and it's chaotic and restless, and I wouldn't have it any other way. You guys have probably had store-bought banana bread. It's a lot, but it's enjoyable, and you're self-aware. The weird kind of processed banana taste is like what makes it good to you, or at least to me, in a weird way. It's good to enjoy that. But when my mom makes banana bread, it's really good. It's also banana bread, but it's an unfiltered and pure banana bread. Fast and Furious 7 is the store-bought banana bread, and Things Like Art by Mira Joyce are my mom's banana bread. I'm very happy to have both and enjoy both, but it's hard to deny the authenticity that comes with someone like Mira Joyce. I'd like to close this out with a quote I think about a lot. I don't remember exactly when I heard it, but it had to have been sometime in high school. It's from another artist I admire and miss. This is a quote from the legendary and late Sophie, who is talking about her music, but I think it's a wonderful quote to apply to art and to life. And I think it's relevant and perfectly suits someone like Mira Joyce, who is using technology to its limit and pushing her field of art forward.
Well, you have the possibility with electronic music to generate any texture, in theory, and any sound. So why would any musician want to limit themselves? You want to work with the most powerful tools you can work with. And in the past, that may have been a piano or a guitar, but now I think the power of software synthesizers is something that all musicians, I would think, would want to harness.
So, thank you. Of course you can. I love you.